Hello you guys, it is Haley and I am back with another video. So this video was actually requested in the comment section on my Chris Motionless video. Someone said that I should make a video on the TEI class that Chris taught at Warped Tour. So I should have written down your username. That way I could shout you out and say who you are that requested it, but I didn't, my bad. But you know who you are, and yeah, so this video is for you. So, sorry if I'm like a little out of it today. I'm kind of a little spacey. I was at a funeral all day, which was like an hour and a half away. So I was like asleep in the car and I kind of woke up not too long ago. So I had like some coffee, like a lot of coffee. So I'm kind of like all over the place. But I wanted to make this video. I'm going to Escape the Fate tonight too, to watch their show in like an hour. So there's that. But I wanted to make a video before I went. So let's get started. So the TEI class was it was a while ago, and I'm sorry it took so long to make this video, but shit happens. I have like a hair in my mouth. Anyways, yeah, it was a little bit of a while ago, but it was a little bit of a while ago that I was requested to do the video, but there's some things I'm sure that I have forgotten and little details, but for the most part I do remember it. So basically Chris started off the class by saying that he does not want us to think of him as like a superior or necessarily even like a teacher, or like he is above us, like he is equal to us and he learns from us just as much as we learn from him, basically. And I'm trying to think what else he said. Basically, just not to think of him in any way above us because he still does not have all the answers and he doesn't know everything, you know? And I thought it was kind of cool that he opened up like that because I don't think a lot of people would have. I mean, you don't have to say something like that, and he opened up, you know, automatically. I don't have all the answers. I don't really know everything, and I think that's a really good way to open up something, especially, I mean, a lot of band members out there, I'm not just stereotyping, but there's a lot out there that really don't give a shit and just kind of are like, I'm above you, you're my fans, you know? But Chris definitely isn't like that. And that's one reason I definitely wanted to take his class, was just because I knew it would be so, like, such a good environment. And it was, it really was. Here, I'm gonna, like, adjust this camera, I'm sorry. It's, like, shaky, but I've had kind of a lot of coffee, and I don't have anything to balance my camera on, so it's always shaky in videos, and it really bothers me. Okay, now it should be a little better. Anyways, so he said that, and then he was talking about a lot of aspects of like anxiety, like social anxiety and stuff, like that he used to have social anxiety so bad he couldn't order a pizza. It was kind of one of the jokes he made, and that's what a big portion of the class was about, if not all of it, was about anxiety and social anxiety and just kind of like growing into yourself. And he brought up the fact that he is a completely different person than Chris Cerulli. Chris Motionless and Chris Cerulli are two different people. I mean, like, they're the same, but they're different. Like, he said that Chris Motionless is like his like alter ego, like his more confident side, his more like, you know, he puts on his makeup and he goes on stage and he feels more powerful. And I think that's really cool because we all kind of do have that side, whether it be putting on makeup or just dressing the way you like. I know I feel 100 times more confident, not just putting on makeup, but even if I'm wearing a cool outfit or if I look how I want to, you know? Like, it's something that I think a lot of people could relate to. And I think it's really cool knowing that someone I look up to and that so many people look up to feels the same way. Like, you know, he's not this confident person all the time. He's not, you know, the person that we always are like, oh my god, he's so powerful, and so, like, he admitted, you know, he's not always that person. And he actually chose me to talk first. He had a microphone, and a big portion of the class, he did not talk. He chose people to talk because, like he said, he's learning from us, and it's not just him, like, you know, that knows everything or whatever, so he wanted us to share stuff, and most of the class he actually chose people to talk. And like I said, I was first. I wanted to open up with like something that wasn't real like attention seeking, or really, I mean, there's something really wrong with, you know, expressing yourself to Chris or like how you feel, but I just didn't want the whole woe is me type pity party type thing that a lot of people do. I actually opened up that I used to have social anxiety to a degree, but that I kind of overachieved, like, becoming the person I wanted to be. Like, I conquered that bad part of me. And I'm not saying, oh, all anxiety is curable. No, of course it's not. Mine was kind of just luck, honestly. But that I used to have social anxiety pretty bad in some cases. Like, when school would first start, like, it's like I would get comfortable with people at the end of the year, and I'd be like, okay, I'm a little less freaked out to talk to people. But as soon as, like, a school year would start again, I couldn't talk to anyone for, like, months. Like, besides, like, my friends that I obviously knew from beforehand, but, like, talking to new people or, like, anything like that made me, like, really, really nervous. And I mean, everyone could be like, oh, well, yeah, that makes me nervous too. But no, like, I would freak out. Like, I would, like, shake and, like, dread going into a classroom, or, like, just having to do things like that, or even ordering food sometimes I would freak out on. And, like, my boyfriend and I actually used to fight over, like, oh, who would order stuff when we first started dating, because he kind of had it to a certain degree. But basically, a lot of mine was just because I was made fun of so heavily, like, in middle school and elementary school. Like, I was really heavily bullied, and it kind of shaped me into that person that I was just really, really insecure. I had no confidence whatsoever, even just to talk to a stranger, because I felt like they could see right through me. But I think that social media really helped me have, like, a passage to get over that. And I know that sounds really stupid, but people just started being nice to me on social media. Like, I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to people saying kind things to me, or even, like, taking the time to get to know me. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am, you know? And through that, I kind of just started, like, clowning around, like, at school. Like, I literally won class clown my senior year of high school, because I just started making jokes all the time. Instead of being, like, scared to ever talk, I kind of took over a whole room in some cases. And I'm sorry if I'm, like, going on about this too long. I know, like, it's not something a lot of people care about, but I just shared that basically I got over things from just kind of making jokes, and, you know, I pushed myself to get over it. And he was really sweet about it. And towards the end of the, I was going to say session, towards the end of the class, I went up to him and I told him I didn't really want to say this in front of a lot of people, but he's, like, a huge reason I've gained that confidence and that I've become the person I am, and I felt comfortable with myself. Like, Motionless helped me develop into who I am and, like, find myself. And he was really appreciative of that, and he was just really sweet and hugged me. And some other people just shared kind of stuff, like, that they're not happy with, like, who they are or whatever. And he was just, you know, very kind to everyone. I'm not going to get into everyone else's stories. I mean, I'm sorry for necessarily getting into mine, but, you know, I think I was just fortunate enough to talk that I would share my part too, because he really did not talk that much throughout the class. It was like an hour-long thing, and his were kind of retorts to things, you know. But basically, I'm trying to think if he said anything else. I don't think so. But after the class, I did Emotional White Meet and Greet, like, where you had to have the tickets. They had, like, a certain amount of tickets, and, you know, if you got one, you got to meet them. And Chris remembered me from the TEI class, which was, like, maybe, like, 2 hours beforehand, and thanked me again, and was just so sweet. He later announced a few days ago that on their new album, there was going to be some integration of, like, things from the TEI classes in songs, which, oh my god, I know I'm gonna freak out and probably be a big emotional baby about it, because that's pretty fucking cool. I think that's it. I think that's kind of, like, I'm sorry, that wasn't, like, all that interesting. I mean, it's interesting because it pertains to Chris, but it wasn't like, oh, this mind-blowing thing. Another thing Chris said was he just wanted people to, like, leave this class, like, with a smile on their face, or, like, feeling better, or just being happy. And I think he did achieve that for everyone. I mean, I was really happy. Everyone else was really happy. I mean, part of the fact he was, like, 1 foot away from me, like, that chair he was sitting in was right over me. So, I mean, obviously I was gonna be happy. But he's just such a sweet, down-to-earth individual. I can't stress that enough. I mean, I sound like a broken record here, because I'm always like, he's so humble, so sweet. Well, it's so true. He's just, like, he's exactly who he says he is. He doesn't, like, you know, he's not this fake person that acts like he gives a shit about his music and his fans or anything, and doesn't. Like, he really does. He really puts so much into everything, and I mean, there's a reason he's like my mentor, my idol, everything. And I hope that a lot of you guys took the TEI class. It was an amazing experience. If not, I totally think that next year you should take it. I know Chris won't be doing it because they usually don't do Warped Tour every year, but if your favorite artist or musician is doing it at Warped Tour, you should definitely do it. It's totally worth the money. It's such a personal experience. It's amazing. So I would totally do it. It's kind of all I really wanted to say, or that I really have to say, but I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you have an amazing day or night, wherever you are. I love you guys. Bye.